Peace, 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 Jackson. Peace, peace, peace. How's everybody doing this morning? Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. I hope everybody is doing well. How was your weekend? I hope your weekend was well. I hope your weekend, you know, I hope you didn't have any troubles or whatever the case may be. And if you did, I'm hoping that you're working through them or work through them. But everything is well on this end. You know, no problems. You know what I'm saying? No problems that I couldn't solve. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're living, you're going to always have issues. You know what I'm saying? It's going to always be something, right or wrong, Hey, that's the way it is sometimes, That's the way life is. That's called life when life is life, and. But from this side of the fence, like I said, everything is good. Everything is well. Um, Today, um, I'm going to go into a few things, but first, let me kind of ask, share this video out and subscribe. Share it to Facebook, whoever you want to share it to. Share it to your friend, whomever. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to go into some stuff today. I'm on a little late today because I really wanted to. I am having some technical issues. Oh my goodness gracious! But I'm not going to allow those technical issues to stop me from getting out this message to you guys. Because Jackson, Mississippi, is my home, and I love Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And But anyway, but anyway, we're gonna go into some stuff. But yo, I want to tell y'all, I'm doing this bash scripting, and I was telling you guys before, I'm learning how to write computer code, and I'm working with Linux, not Windows. I'm working with Windows too, but I'm mostly working with Linux. And I'm learning this bash scripting. I'm kind of writing out the scripts and rearranging them to see what outcomes, what kind of outcomes that I'm getting and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of like, you're putting in some stuff and then you want to see what that does. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of what I'm learning. But I tell you, it keeps your mind sharp. If your mind ain't sharp, it will get sharp. Guarantee you that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a wonderful, wonderful language to learn, and I'm really trying to learn it because since I lost my eyesight, I I want to have a transferable skill because I know because we're in the AI age. I'm very familiar with AI. I'm very familiar knowing how to write. On different AI platforms. I know how to query and all that kind of stuff. I think I'm very well versed in that. But a transferable that's a very good skill because those tools is very good tools. But I also want to be able to learn how it's made, so I can implement my own AI one of these days. You know what I'm saying? But I want to be able to do it outside the box, not from inside the box, So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm learning this stuff. And like I said before, it's also a transferable skill because I can go anywhere on the planet and script and use bash scripting, So, but nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's something that like I said, it's something that I elected to do, and I'm going to complete it until it's done. And I'm going to try to master it. I'm going to try to master it at the highest level that it can be mastered. Hey, like I said, if all is well, we're going to do it, and we're going to make it happen. So, but I'm going to lay my plane on that one because, like I said, I don't want to bore nobody. I don't want to bore you on what I got going on. I just wanted to share that information because just kind of, give you a little background of what I'm doing or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just I'm not just in here twirling my thumbs and constantly making videos all the time. I'm also doing something else, with my time. And that's the same thing with you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm totally blind and I'm doing it, what you doing? What are you doing with your time? See, that's the reason why I kind of like want to kind of talk about this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but in today's video, I want to go into two subjects. I'm going to talk about the Knowlan Wells case, and I'm going to talk about what's going on with this Jatran stuff. Because currently, right now, Jatran is on strike. This is July 13th, the 13th, 2026, right? And Jatran is on strike. I wonder why. Do you wonder why? I wonder why. I'll tell you why. Because Jatran is ran by MV Transport. And MV Transport and the Jatran Union having problems. Their policies, the union is not clicking with the union. And the union the union want to bring them to the table so they can hash it out. But seems like MV Transport don't want to hash it out. I got a document from MV Transport talking about, they're telling their side. And let me say this. Let me be clear. MV Transport came into the city from through the back door. What I mean by the back door, they came in, they made a deal with the city wrong because nobody knew that they was coming. And because they came in, they made the deal in August, but them sons they announced themselves to December because it was taking over that January. I was in the meeting. I was at the meeting. I was at the meeting when that thing went down because the hood building. The hood building chambers was they was under construction, right? So we had to go over to the city council. Right now, we went over to the city council. I remember that day. And MV Transport was there. Transdav was there because Transdav was the operating company for Jatran at the time. And they was actually getting it. They was getting some things wrong, but they was getting a lot of things right. And they was really they was building the momentum. And that's what the meeting was for. So the meeting was called by Dr. Scott Crawford. Boom. Everybody was there, but then, everybody was there. Jam-packed. Because I sat in the back. It was so jam-packed. And here come MV Transport was up in there. Because I remember distinctively that Lee Coles, she's the American Disability Act, she's the chairperson for the American Disability Act, and she was asking, and she was like, because she went in on Christina Welch. She asked Christina Welch, why didn't we know about this ahead of time? Why didn't we know about this ahead of time? Why all of a sudden now we learned about this? And she was like, she told me, said the deal was made. That's how we knew the deal was made in August. She said, because you had to September, October, and November to tell us. Transdav didn't come in like that. The drivers knew. The drivers knew Transdav was coming in, because it was, I think it was 2019. Yeah, it was 2019 when Transdav came in. It was 2019 when they came in. I remember. But they can't. But everybody knew. The driver said, "Hey, we're gonna have a new company coming in, Transdav, this, that, woo, woo, woo," and boom, and they did. But MV Transport didn't do that. So my point is, they came in wrong. That's number one. Number one. My question is to that is this: did the union know? Probably not. Probably not. If Ada didn't know, the union didn't know. Because I'm quite sure the union would have had some questions on their policies. Because this is the crossroads where we at right now. It's on the policies. But see, my thing is that the deal, I'm looking at the deal. Yeah, we're going to come in. We're going to change the routers up. It's going to be no cost to the city. Oh, yeah. I'm quite sure they made that deal. I'm quite sure. Transdav didn't make that deal. MV Transport made that deal. Because it happened right after they got in. They made that deal. That's what sealed the deal. They're doing something for the city that had no cost to the city. I'm quite sure. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to get a map out of the city. We're going to reroute everything. We're going to put everything up. We're going to give you our app. We're going to give you our website. Everybody going to be on the website. And everything going to be hunky-dory. But except for one thing, they did not anticipate that their policies would have something to do would be up under scrutiny by that union. Because this is the second strike. So they didn't know there was some other scrutiny. They're not making the right deals. All right. So I mean, this is where we at. You got the Mississippi Institution for the Blind. They're gonna be those they don't have a bus. Lions Club Industries don't have a bus. The Addie McBride Center for the Blind doesn't have a bus. Those workers don't have a bus. Shall I go on? You got the adult daycare centers. They don't have a bus. People that's on dialysis. They don't have a bus. You go to the big bus scene. You got people that works every day. That ain't even from Jackson. That don't drive. They got to Uber to work. They got to Lyft to work. They got to get a private driver to go to work. They're affected. I'm speaking from. I'm telling you how a TI is. You got the Salvation Army. You got Goodwill. You got those workers. Some of them take the bus. Come on now, talk about it. Talk about that. Let's keep that real. You're affecting everybody. And I don't understand it for the life of me. That MV Transport, how this operation is working. Because I'm like this. I think, this is my opinion, I think that the drivers should be working for the city. And MV Transport should just be operating the buses. They operating the buses and operating the schedules of the drivers. You know, kind of like just operating, just in the whole operation. And they report to the city. You know what I'm saying? They can't fire nobody. They just operating. They making sure that the schedules, the bus schedules are straight. The worker schedules are straight. You know, they're taking all the calls from the riders. They're taking complaints. They're doing all that from, you know what I'm saying, from that standpoint. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's my opinion. They should just take over the operation and get paid from that and whatever uniforms, whatever they, okay, if they represent, okay, boom, they, Jatran, MV Trample, they get, everybody get uniforms, this, that, whatever, boom, boom, and that's how it should be. But those workers should be working for the city. It should be a city job, and they should be unionized. Of course, if they're unionized, their and their pensions and everything, that way their pensions and everything still be the same. Their pensions and everything still be. It shouldn't have to be at risk with my pension based on a policy change with a new company coming in. That sucks. I could be wrong. I'm probably totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And opinions like armpits. Everybody have them. Sometimes they stink. Sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying? But that's what, that's what it is. That's what it is. This whole entire thing with Jatran is not it was nothing. It wasn't new because, like I said before, it was not. Everybody had a problem with MV Transport. Man, let me tell you something. They got issues. All of them. They got issues. I'm telling you straight up, they got issues. Folks quitting, folks coming back, and all of this and all of that. But like, they had they had this document. MV Transport wrote this document because I remember Dr. Crawford shared the documentation that they had, and I read it. And I remember there was one thing in there that I was talking about. He was talking about the city. He was talking about how the city of Jackson had did a case study, and it was granted a certain amount of bread. And they said they don't know whatever happened to the study or whatever the case may be, or did they didn't. What did y'all insinuate? What was they insinuating? They didn't know if let me say it clear. In the document, they stated that they don't know what happened to the money for the study being conducted. They don't know if a study was conducted or not. So what are you saying? Are you saying that the city is doing something with them with the money that they was granted? Are you saying that they're stealing? Why is you worried about what the city's doing? That's their money. All right. But that's what it's stating in that document. I ain't make that up. And like I said, it really, I wish I could get my computer. I really wish I could get my computer. I gotta get my computer straight again, so I can share that information. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to, I'm gonna get another program, another video program, so I can share my screen, so you can get. Matter of fact, I'll upload it to the. I'll put it into the. I wanted to put it into the. Put the link in the description box, but I'm having some trouble with my transferring my files over, but I'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, because I want you to read it. I want you to read this information so you can share it out. Because I'm telling you, once you share it out, it's over with. You understand what I'm saying? MV Transport got problems, and then they don't want. But then like this morning, 4:30 this morning, Jatran Union rep was out there. They was out there striking, boom, boom, doing their thing, and he came up. He was talking, whatever. That's cool. But MV Transport ain't made no comment yet. So I'm like. But I think that was a good strategy because he went straight to the news media, and that's a good thing. So now they're gonna have to because it's making them look bad. See, it's making MV Transport look bad. And y'all ain't said nothing yet. Alright, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Plane landed. Plane landed. But anyway, about this young man, Knowlan Wells. I ain't feeling it. There was a former judge. His name was I'm gonna get his name right. Carlos Moore. Good guy. He shot a video. And he touched base on a lot of different things. He just talked about just what we know. He said, man, a lot of laws been broken. And it has. And I'm not just basically going on what he's saying, but what I'm saying is the man has credentials. He was a judge down there. So, he's credible. Laws has been broke. You know what I'm saying? Just by them taking his phone and not giving it back. Underage drinking. You know what I'm saying? If you write an affidavit in the right format, according to him, look, I'm not an attorney, not none of that. But I always said that. If you stick it out, what I would say, if you stick an affidavit in their face, they're going to adhere to whatever you got to say. I'm telling you. He said if you stick the if you writing the right kind of affidavit in the right format, a judge going to hear it, and they're going to automatically issue our warrants. Why did they delete their social media? Why did they delete why did they have his phone? Why did his mother have to ping his phone? Why did all the information out his phone was deleted? Snapchats and all the different social media platforms that he was associated with, along with his phone calls and his emails. Don't you think that stuff can be retrieved? Okay. Was they going to ever return his phone? Why did they take his phone from the beginning? Why did the why when they searched the whole entire island, 24 hours later they found his body? Why did that happen? Why didn't they find his body earlier? That's just a question. What just happened? You know what I'm saying? That's just a question. Why did that happen? And my ears got stopped up for some reason, probably the air. But that's just the question for me. I mean, all those questions those are the questions I'll be asking. And I'm quite sure they are. So, thank you for everyone that's standing up. Because, for me, personally, I don't want this swept under the rug. I don't want this swept under the rug like a lot of, the young man up there at Delta University when he was hung at a pickle park. He was hung from a tree in a pickle park. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm not trying to hear it. It went away. Like a lot of cases down here in Mississippi do. A lot of cases down here in Mississippi do. Kids coming up missing. Folks getting hung for no reason. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I think it was a case with this guy. I think he had accidentally had a hit and run, whatever, something, and then he came home. He came home. He did his time, and then he came home, and he was found hung. And nothing else was said. What was that about? I can't remember that case. I think it happened in Madison. I think it happened in Madison, Mississippi, where the guy, yeah, hit somebody, whatever. I think he went to jail, whatever. Boom. I'm not for sure if it was a drunk driver case or whatever it was, but he came home and he got hung. Come on, man. Come on. And then they come. I mean, and folks. I mean, it's not peaches and cream down here. I was told a long time ago. I was young. I remember it was told in the North, where white people, you could work with them, but you can't live with them. And in the South, you can live with them, but you can't work with them. I don't see that nowhere. I don't see that nowhere. Because only thing I see is that every time when black folks come into white neighborhoods, white folks leave. And that's in the North and in the South. Because when I was living in New York, all the white people, when depending on what kind of train you was on, whether you was on the 3 line or the 2 line in Manhattan, when that train came to 96th Street, all the white people, you know, this is how you know where the races, how the race was segregated, because the 3 went up into Harlem, and all the white folks got off at 96th Street and took the 109 train. I don't know if that's going on now. And even with the 2 line, when it went up to the Bronx, the same thing. But you had a few whites that was living in the Bronx. You had a few whites lived in the Bronx. So you had some whites stayed on the train. But on that number 3, where it went straight into Harlem, whites got off. But I bet you they like that no more, because white folks then bombarded Harlem. And that's the same thing they're going to do to Jackson. You watch. They're going to do it to West Jackson. You watch. It's coming. It's coming. I don't land my plane on that Knowlan Wells case. But it's going to happen here in West Jackson. I'm telling you, it's coming. I do know how many text messages and calls I get. Now it's text messages. I don't really get too many calls. But text messages on me asking me, do I want to sell my property? And everybody's Caucasian. Caucasian people will come all up and down the street looking at houses. They're gonna take over this place, West Jackson. Are you prepared, resident? Are you prepared? I'm talking to black folks. Are you prepared? Because I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I've seen it. They did it. If they do it to Harlem, they do it to you. So keep your property. Own it. Pay the taxes on it. Don't let it get blighted. Because they're gonna want to create I'm gonna tell you something. Because if they get in here on the official side, they're gonna create some statutes, some ordinances that's gonna make you give up your property. Well, you ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come in, take it back over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And they're gonna move you back out to either South Jackson, like they're gonna do it like South Side of Chicago. You move all the black folks back down there, out there to Chicago, like they did in Chicago. Everybody down to South Jackson. And probably why they're trying to build that Pearl River, so it won't flood over there. So we just where we can stick the black folks. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just calling for what I see. I'm just calling it for what I see. I ain't tripping on nothing. I'm just calling for what it is. Wake up, black folks. Because I'm telling you, something's coming out of that pipeline. And we sitting around here talking about these data centers and stuff. While you being distracted by them data centers, something else coming down the pipeline. I always tell my children, 2 or 3 things can be good. It could be true at the same time. And I'm telling you the same thing. Click like and share out the video. Peace.